Okay, so this week was a lot less intense than the ones prior. Things kinda died down. We had a bit more sideways spy action. I had like 2.5 hours. Last week was 5 or something. The one before that was 20. So things slowing down. Spy was like sideways the whole week and then got a little bit of action the past 1, 2, 3 days. That's the majority of the week, but it wasn't anything strong. So mostly some sideways shit. I got IBRX for my first trade. Pretty neat. Nothing super crazy, but I love the level. I love the sideways action. Mini range here, fake break, now gapping up. I don't know if it had any news. Yeah, so with the prior 2 days, uh, it had news. Not a very big build up for the break, but definitely not bad by any means. Maybe one more day, one more full candle here ending near the level would have been better. What I'm really lacking here is like more explosive volume. 60-minute was not bad at all because it's not extended and we do have a 3 bar play if set up, but it has very wide candles and it's been going since like 750-ish without a proper pullback. Also, not like yet again, not there's not improper pullbacks, but they're not proper either. They're like this in between shit phase. Pre-market was pretty okay. Downtrending channel before the break. Not bad. Don't really like the gap between the breakout area and the channel, but it was pretty tight. We broke out of it. Used this as a stop. I think pretty neat trade overall. I gave it 1 hour because of SPY state. It's been chopping quite a lot. And this was 520, which was this day right here. Yeah, didn't expect much here. Otherwise, in a strong environment, would have given it 2 hours. Pre-market Arvo was like 2,000%, and opening Arvo was 500%. So that was another really freaking good variable today. Plus, I think the daily was just clean. Like there was nothing really in the way. Only in 60-minute, this like 869 level, but I think the sizing and everything was great here. I would take this trade again. Then we had ARM. I missed this day. That's going to be in the other folder, but pretty neat weekly. Would have loved it for it to be tighter and to have touched 9, but it's okay. Daily, also very, very nice, like this little 4 candle pivot action and the breakout of this pennant. Very nice, resting up on 200, held by fast moving MAs. What I'm really lacking here is like the volume of this breakout. It's basically non-existent. It's slightly above average. So that was a thing to dock points for. 678, quite nice ABCD, getting a little bit tight, tiny bit of range. And we had a nice pre-market structure. So use the breakout of that on day 2 of this break after a bit of a gap to play some. They don't have a lot of volume, I think like 200%. So didn't target for approximately ATR plus this whole dollar level, but it did went further. That being said, yet again, completely fine with it. Also fine with the 1 hour size with the 3 to 1 to 280, a base hit. Then I had OST. It's a pretty dead stock after like 180. It went down to sub 10, I think. Then it was getting revived lately, but quite a deep pullback, building nice bases here. And we had this very freaking nice. I love these levels, even with the upthrust out of it. I think it was freaking nice. ABCD here, volume getting elevated in this last month or so. Very nice, although could have been a shallower pullback holding the MAs more clearly and respectfully. But nevertheless, it's still a nice retest of this prior range here. ran this range and we're breaking out of the meat of it. And now what we have to take care of is these two guys, basically, and then we're clear until these levels. 6-7 ABCD for the break, some stack candles, holding 9, pretty neat. Not A plus, but I would give it like an A minus or an A, given the context. So that is very nice. Pre-market, mostly ghost candles, not the biggest, or not the most interesting shit. We broke out, nice volume, and then nice declining volume. Once we've pulled back to the level, view up N9, set up a nice hammer, fake breaking these stacked pullback candles. Fucking nice. So I entered 1R. Yet again, market not the best. Our vol was also not the best, I think like 100 to 200%. So because of these, I didn't take 2 hours. I think I had like 2 to 1 until this area, or sorry, 2.5 to 1. So even that, I think 1 hour was also fine here. Yet again, different market environment, different R vol would have changed my perspective. We also didn't hit news, I think. And yeah, this like 150% R vol is really not fucking what I'm looking for. Then we had SATL, pretty hot stock lately. We've been doing some nice, this is the first leg, second leg, and we're within the third leg. Some stack candles here, candle 1 of the breakout here, and now we're within candle 2 on the weekly. Still pretty playable, volume's nicely elevated lately. And we've had these 4 stacked candles here, getting tighter, holding 9. Very, very nice. Yesterday was the tightest candle of them all. We have a nice range, meat of range, plus it's like a double layered top of the range. In pre-market, we broke out of the meat of the lower range, retested it, and broke out of this ABCD-ish thing. Risky for sure to enter here, but I think it's still a nice place to enter. Although thinking about it, I didn't really give up a lot of room, so maybe a bit too risky to enter here. Like an extra 10 cents is what I've gained by this early entry. Entered half an hour here, risking the low of this retest, which was below PDC, and then I entered yet again after we broke out for yet another half hour. Setup wasn't that big. It was somewhat extended, not the most solid setup, no volume indications or anything. Our vol was also under 200% and still the same market environment. So went up till 1 hour and targeted 1050, which I think, yeah, was yet again close to ATR-ish, whole number level, or sorry, whole dollar level, like half lower level, whatever. And it was struggling a lot here, struggling with this either as soon as we broke out here, immediately pulled back, an engulfing candle, and then yet another big red candle, and then yet another white candle. It was struggling a lot and stalling here, so I decided to take off all my position there. Then later on, it went on to I think end at high day, which was quite nice. Didn't really gain a lot more. I think it ended at like 1061. Yeah, so it was nice, but I'm more than fine with my exit here. Second entry, obviously, I got a lot of slippage. I would have wanted my entry to be closer to there, but pretty standard, not outstanding trades and ideas here. Chewy, not really worth mentioning, a bit too far from 9 EMA on the daily. Hopefully we have a nice level to target, but nice 3-day range, 60 minute, nothing extraordinary. Yeah, I don't know. It's just something I took a screenshot of. Yeah, so this is actually the day that we broke out. So actually, what I missed was the super fucking nice 60-minute level correlation. 60-minute was also a quite nice ABCD and then a little mini hand type flag here. Got a fake break of this, and this is what when I dismissed the trade, I was like, oh, it's selling off. And I don't like those, but in the last 2 minutes, it started holding here a bit. And even the sell off, it was more so just a fake break of this mini 5-minute pre-market range. So yeah, because of that, I should not have dismissed it because actually it was in favor of my idea and not against it. So that was pretty clean. And I missed it. Our build was also not extraordinary and definitely would not have expected this big of a move. And I had like 2 to 1 until this level, so would not have gotten big in this either. But seeing how strong it is, how well the volume holds, maybe would have gotten out 75% and trailed the rest of my position. Either way, it would not have been a big winner because there's not a lot to indicate that this was going to be a big trade. It was a nice setup for sure, but not extraordinary. Like the 60-minute was very nice. Daily was okay. It was like B plus, A minus ish. Market environment yet again quite shitty. This is also the 20th. Weekly yet again missing the volume. Like yeah, in hindsight it was very fucking nice. It was not quote unquote predictable. End phase. Now this is a freaking neat daily. If it had better volume, it would have been like mwah, very clean. But even with this, it's nice. We're breaking out of a weekly level as well. Have nice targets, have this range to run. And right here at the breakout area, also taking care of 50 here. Very clean, but would have loved a high volume increase on this last candle like that. For some reason, lately in the past week, these stocks that I look at the dailies at, and I would guess that they have like elevated volume, they don't for some reason. And that's the case with Enphase as well. Also very nice 60-minute ABCD fake out of this pre-market action, testing in, back into this. Reclaiming, very freaking neat. Don't really know where to enter, though nothing super clean. Like at this point, could draw a trend line here, but proof of trend for me is shaky. Yeah, it's a tough one. Maybe on the fabric and reclaim of this right here. So like a VWAP claim and risking blows, but yeah, daily was much more nice than intraday action here. I'm fine with missing this, and yet again, the volume was, or our volume was below 200%. Fuel cell, a bit shittier, not really respecting 9, a bit too deep of a pullback. Nicer volume though, but 60-minute is just a bit out of whack. Yet again, no clear entries for my style, but it did run nicely. SPY still in a chop zone at the time. The XTI, yet again, something that worked, but not really something I generally take, not really elevated volume. Or I mean, no volume signals that it would do it today. But again, daily is nice, a bit too extended, a bit too out there. Weeklies, yeah, it's just not really my back tested environment. Or not environment, but not my back tested variables. Maybe this is just something that's been running freaking nice lately, breaking out of this large weekly structure. Getting tight here, but a bit too whippy for me, which I'm not loving. 60-minute also not nice, but did happen to be a freaking big trade on the 22nd. Yet again, not really finding a grip on it, and I'm fine with not writing it up, or I'm fine with having missed this. But these I'm just documenting to look back on the state of the market and see what kind of shit worked. Red wire, now this is something that I definitely regret missing. Breaking out of a large downward pennant on the weekly. Volume is increasing like crazy, which, as opposed to the other candidates, is finally something that I'm happy for. That was not what I wanted. That sentence was not what I wanted it to mean, but very nice. Like here, the pullback and the consolidation is not the cleanest, but we're nicely holding line, setting higher highs, higher lows over the past 3 days, now gapping up slightly right to this level above this footing resistance, which I'm absolutely loving. Bit of an ascending triangle-ish pattern, but not really solid, like mostly confined within the middle of it. But nice and tight, lining up to the breakout level. Arval was yet again 200%-ish, so that is not something I love. But given that we're elevated volume, it's pretty okay. I mean, elevated volume in the past 2-3 weeks. Easy entry, love the last buy-up candle that engulfs basically this whole thing here. Easy entry here, stop here. Could have gone for 2 hours. And until the ATR, which was like 1.5, 1.2, I know we had a 3-to-1, which is nice, but there was nothing at the ATR level. The stock was running nicely, daily was nice, higher volume lately, So I'm not really shooting for an ATR based target here. Maybe if we had a level near it, then I would have. But these ones I'm either trailing structure, which still would not have stopped me out at the time of the screenshot, or I'm going for end of day. Since it wasn't really high Arval, I probably would have gone for a structural trail. Probably would have gotten stubbed out around here, but I don't even know. Let's check. Because, yeah, I would have gotten stubbed out here at 1735. Pretty freaking neat trade that I missed. Could have gone 2 hours on this one. And yeah, this is the biggest miss of the week.